I'm going to try growing giant pumpkins this year. I've been doing a tremendous amount of research over the last 6 or 8 months. And in a previous video, you can see where I started working on my patch. Well, I've got all my amendments to be added to the patch and get it tilled up one more time. And but the most critical thing, I think right now, I need to get these seeds planted. I wanted to do this over a week ago, and that illness got me down, and I just kept putting it off. I really just did not feel like it. So here it is, about 1 a.m., and I'm trying to catch up on a lot of stuff. So the seeds are soaking. You can see I got dirt in the water and everything. They've been soaking in some warm water for about 20 minutes while I was preparing my soil in the pots. And you can see what I'm growing. I've got my pots labeled and ready to go. That is a 2388.5 Liggett. That one is it comes from the 1885 Werner. Hopefully you can read that. And it's pollinated by self. So that is a super high powered seed. That 1885 Werner, it just makes the most beautiful fruit. So a lot of Howardale winners, it kind of speaks for itself. So that's why I'm really looking forward to growing that one. So you can see my sandpaper has been used a little bit. I sanded that seed as well as this one. This is the 2163 Liggett. And you can see this comes out of the 2222 Ganger and the 2749 Ganger. That 2749 Ganger, that would be the world record pumpkin. So really happy about this one because both of those Gangers are out of the 2365 Wolf, which is another super high powered pumpkin. So I'm really looking forward to growing both of these and seeing what I can do. A new grower with a fresh patch with no sort of germ load at all on the patch, mending it, as best I can. I'm really hopeful to see what both of these seeds will produce out there in that patch this year. So again, you can see I used some 88 grit sandpaper, just lightly sanded the edges all the way around except for the tips. They've been soaking there in warm water. It's just warm, soft tap water. I got a bucket of warm water from the faucet, and that's what I wet my soil with. So that soil, if I were to grab it and squeeze it, you just get a drop of water out. I'm using Burger BM7 as my grow media. I'm down in my, looks like a little illegal operation going here, but these are trees. I've been growing trees in my basement for a few years, so I'm sort of taking advantage of the mess that I've already got going down here. That Burger BM7 is a good potting soil that my folks have used for decades in their greenhouse, so I feel good about that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let these seeds soak for, maybe just a few more minutes. They probably ain't been in there for maybe 20 minutes. I'll probably let them soak for maybe another 20 minutes or so. All right, so let's make a little hole here in the middle. Let's see, 2388.5 Liggett, 2388.5 Liggett. $21.63 Liggett. Maybe not quite so deep. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take these over. The hot pad, which is running over here. This heat mat, it's an automatic thing. I think it runs about 80 or 85 degrees. It's toasty warm. I am not going to cover those up. I don't want to cause myself any sort of mold issues. So I'll come down here tomorrow and check them, give them a little drink if I have to. Just keep an eye on the moisture. and hopefully we'll see something sprouting on these things in a few days. Well, we planted them on Thursday at like 1 a.m. and today is Wednesday at about, oh, I don't know, it's about 10 a.m. So it's been, six days, and I've been checking on them every couple of days. The 2388.5 has sprouted. Looks like it probably sprouted yesterday. Still don't see anything out of the 2163. I'm a little disappointed that it's taken this long, but I mean, the heat mat is warm. But I guess once you get, 5 inches up off the heat mat, it's probably, I don't know, I guess it's just not quite as warm as it could be. I'm keeping it nice and moist. The air temperature down here in the basement is, I don't know, high 60s. So, I don't know. We'll give it a couple more days before I give up on this one. This 2388, that seed is over a year old. So I was expecting it to take a little longer than the 2163 because the 2163 is just from this past season. Well, I just dug through my stash and pulled out another pumpkin seed. That 2163, I just checked on it. It's been over a week now and it's still not sprouted. So pulled out one that I really wanted to grow anyhow. This was going to be my primary this year until I got my hands on those Liggett seeds at an auction over the winter. Check out B&S Giant Pumpkins on YouTube. He did some really, really good pumpkin videos last year following the growth of this pumpkin. And this is the one he named Norm. It's a beautiful pumpkin. Again, it's out of that 2388. And that's really why, once I saw what he was growing off of it and I looked more at the lineage of the 2388, then I was really glad to get my hands on it. So anyhow, that 2163 is, I haven't completely given up on it, but I did dig it up a little bit ago, and it's just not doing anything. It's not rotten, it's not moldy, it's just like sitting there, nice and damp. It's just not doing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and soak this seed. Now this one's cracked, but just barely. It should not affect anything. I got a hold of him and let him know when I did receive these seeds back in the fall, and he went ahead and damaged one. I think he cut the end off of it or something. Whatever he did to it, I can't remember exactly, but just to sort of put my mind at ease, he damaged one far worse than this and went ahead and sprouted it. So I don't think the crack's gonna bother anything at all. All right, so seed's been soaking for, 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. We're just gonna put it in here, not real deep. That might be 3/4 of an inch deep, something like that. And I did file that, or sanded the edges of that seed before I soaked it. So now we'll bring it over here through the maze. I promise you this is nothing illegal going on down here. And we'll set it on the heat mat. There's that 2163 that just refused to sprout. The 2388.5, it's looking really good. You can see it's a little wet where I watered it earlier. I think that's been sprouted like 4 or 5 days ago. So there's that much vegetation just since it sprouted 4 or 5 days ago. I'm gonna go ahead and water this in. Let's see if I can do this with one hand without watering the lights too much. That soil is fairly damp in the just in the container, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a real good drink. Of course, that container's got holes in it, so that'll all drain right out. All the extra. There it goes. I can see it running away like a little river. So we'll keep it right under the lights. The lights do generate just a little bit of heat. We'll keep that one centered up under that light too, in case it decides to sprout. And of course, we're on the heat mat. So the heat mat still nice and warm. The lights do generate a little heat, and then I'll flip my Mylar blanket back down, and that'll trap that little bit of heat from those lights, traps it in there, and it actually is noticeable when you flip these Mylar blankets up. You do notice it. So I planted a bunch of chestnuts. Again, this is my, I don't know, second or third round of chestnuts. And you can see they're sprouting real well. I just planted these about a week ago. Took me a little longer than it should have to get to them. And I got just a few American persimmons there in the back. Well, it's May 8th, and I am happy to report that 1886 Sexton looks like it must have sprouted yesterday. It's a little yellow, but I'm not super concerned about that just yet. Unfortunately, that 2163 Liggett, I'm going to keep watering the pot. I don't know. I ain't got much hope for it. The other, though, the 2388 Liggett, which is the one that was really looking forward to, it's doing very well, but it's big enough now where I need to get it out of here. So in my other videos, click the subscribe button to see the other videos I'm making. Right now, I'm running into a problem with weather, and it just will not dry up enough to work the patch. So as much as I want to plant that plant in the ground, it's got a little bit more time that I think would be safe to stay in this container. I just need a few more days, I think, and get that patch worked up. I can't believe how late I'm doing this. So anyhow, that's the moral of the story today, is that that Sexton plant has sprouted, and I'm very, very happy about that. You can see that leaf, as it was growing, I repositioned this plant a few days ago. As that leaf grew, it actually was growing very close to the light, and I think that's what caused this damage that we're seeing here. Because after that, after I repositioned it, now these other leaves are coming on and they're looking great. So I'm gonna go ahead and take two hands, do this, of course, off camera, take two hands, get these things transported out to the patch. I want to be very careful that I don't damage them. So especially with all the wind today, I'm going to try to be as careful with these things as I can. And we want to plant this. I'm trying to keep the orientation in mind. The first true leaf is this one here. You guys see that? The first true leaf is here, so that means the plant should run the other way. So that's the orientation we want to give it. I put this flag at 5 feet from the center of the patch, or excuse me, when I say patch, I mean I've got two plants growing here. So this would be the edge, 5 feet from the edge of the allowable space for this plant. So we're 5 feet in from the end. I'm just gonna dig a hole right here. We're gonna add some azos, a big heaping tablespoon. So we're gonna mix that in. I'm gonna do my best not to break this thing. I don't want when I go to transplant anything, I don't want it to be sopping wet. So this has been a couple days since it's been watered. I don't know if you guys can see that roots on there. There's a little bit of root structure going. We definitely don't want it to be root bound. So let's see, let's get it turned the right way. We want it this direction. I'm trying not to disturb the roots, and I'm kind of leaning it. I'm gonna water it in. And that's it. So this is the center of the patch. So I measured 5 feet over to that plant, and then from that center, I measured 5 feet over, and that's gonna be that plant. Looks a little wilty, but this is gonna be a lot of stress for it today, and it was a little on the dry side to begin with. So I'll check on them I don't know, I'll check on them this evening before dark. We'll double check the weather again, make sure we don't need to roll the side or roll these ends down, but that's it. We should be in pretty good shape. I think we're off to a decent start on the giant pumpkin season. Got them both in the ground, and I couldn't be happier. I hope I helped you with this one, guys. If you're curious about growing giant pumpkins, give this a thumbs up button if I did help you, or if you maybe piqued your curiosity about this sort of stuff. Click the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll be making a whole bunch of videos on these things growing this season. Till the next time, keep on tinkering.